So sap green, ultramarine violet, unbleached titanium or titanium buff. And I took some sap green, put a bit of a touch of ultramarine violet in it, and unbleached titanium, just to soften it. And I'm gonna come here and, oh, okay, you can't see it, can't see it. Take sap green and ultramarine violet. No, for this part here. Don't add an unbleached titanium to this, up here.
So it should look quite green.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Doesn't look like it's gonna work, but I'm gonna try.
All right.
Gonna try it.
Yeah, that's fine. It's a we're going to do a suggestion of windows. It's not going to be unbleached. I'm adding unbleached titanium. And take a bit of more unbleached titanium on my brush. And I'm going to come over here and do this. Looks like it just gives a suggestion of a shutter. We won't be seeing too much of those, a lot of these details once we put the balcony in here. When we add the balcony and we add all of this, the greens and the lantern, we're not going to see too much of this detail. Now I'm going to move down, and I'll move down to the doors, and then I'll stop. Actually, I can put some more windows. Put them randomly, random. I mean, I'm following a bit the picture, but really, it's just a suggestion. Nothing, not a lot of detail in here. Not feeling. Okay. Again, the same idea.
The top and bottom of the windows are angled, right? For
Well, yes. Okay, so the perspective is like this. The vanishing point for those windows is if I put a ruler, like this, okay, it will take me to a vanishing point that's outside, right somewhere here, far away. But if I keep doing that, if you do this, you take you take your ruler and keep here. See where my finger is? Right. I'm going to keep this point just the way it is. It's not going to change. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. And that will give you the bottom of your window. So the more you push down, but this is the same, not moving, kind of, that will give you the bottom of your window. So if I do this, I can come here and do that. Again, go back from here. Try not to move my hand, my fingers here, my finger here, and then just move the ruler up and down. That's how your windows. Those lines, these lines for the top and bottom of the window, the windows are part of the same vanishing point that's sitting here somewhere far. It goes a bit with this as well. So this is kind of like this. It goes down, and then you keep on putting your lines to create those windows. Now we're not gonna. I don't recommend that you do this for now, because those buildings are or the photo, the way it's taken, it's not taken from an angle where we can establish that vanishing point easily. It's not close. It's not a close vanishing point. It's far away, and we should do one day. I should do a bit of a small kind of lesson on perspective, so we could do. You see what the vanishing point does and the horizon line. So for now, to answer your question, kind of keep in mind that's what I did. I just keep in mind that the vanishing point is right there, and that from there I can kind of locate or find the top and the bottom. That's why with this, because we're not doing detail, I'm keeping the bottom part and the top part kind of not very defined. It's just a suggestion, not more than that. I'm going to move down to the doors. So I'm using burnt umber. If you want to make sure that your doors are going on in the right direction, all of them, kind of, you could just take a ruler, or with your free hand, and just draw a line like this. And with that, I'm going to switch. I have this. I'm going to move back to here so you can see what I'm doing. Mix burnt umber with titanium buff. So you don't want your burnt umber to be too strong. And again, let's say, I think I went too high. It's okay. I'm going to darken my ultramarine. I'm going to darken my burnt umber with ultramarine violet. Just when you darken it, it gives you depth. I know I said first, don't put, just don't use burnt umber by itself, but it's not deep enough. I'll put them in different heights, these doors. I might need to use black, a bit of black with the ultramarine, with the burnt umber.
So the bottom part, you're using burnt umber and
The doors?
Yes.
Ultramarine violet. And now I'm mixing the burnt umber with a bit of the titanium buff to soften the edges of those doors that I'm putting in here. This edge is really harsh right now. Now, it would be nice to take the titanium buff and I'm adding a touch of white. Come here. Oh, wow, that's too strong. A frame, a suggestion of a frame. Really, not really a frame, but I'm going to darken a bit my titanium buff with burnt umber. I'm just going to put a kind of a thickness or a side for this door. It's a wall. And last, right. So for this arch, it's more like on an angle. So I'm creating the outer frame and the inside thickness of the stone, the wall for the arch. Darker, using a real dark, using black and burnt umber. Okay, now this is same. It's burnt umber and titanium buff. So I can see the outside of that, the outside arch, the stone right here is a bit darker than the inside of the door. Let it dry, and I'll take black and some titanium buff and do the inside here. I'm changing this the color of this arch from brown into, let's see, into a bit more grayish color. So I'm using right now black, titanium buff, and a bit of the burnt umber. I take black and brown on my brush and put a bit of those detail for the stone. Not much, just a bit. We don't want too much detail in here. I'm going to stay for those two doors in here, or door and window, between the black, burnt umber, and the titanium buff. Just to place that window here, I'm going to see. Okay. This is titanium buff with a bit of black, touch of black, and burnt umber, touch of burnt umber, not much. Okay. That's for just for me to place, to see where to put kind of where this window is, and then I'll work on it a little bit more. I'm going to do the next one next to it.
Now he looks like a peeping Tom. He's looking in the windows. What's going on?
The poor guy is just going home. Oh. Okay. I'm gonna take a darker brown, so using burnt umber and black. And I'm gonna come here and try to put the inside of this window. That's actually the side, that's the thickness of the wall. Again, same idea, mixing burnt umber and black with my titanium buff. Now I'm going to take a bit of black. Do you want me to keep it the bottom part, or can I do the upper part? No, no answer. Everybody's busy.
We're all concentrating.
Fine.
Go ahead. We have the video to look at.
Everything is being recorded, so I'm just trying to kind of speed up the process here, so we can just move on to a new project. But I'm recording everything.
Is that Payne's Gray?
That's Payne's Gray. I know there are so many windows in here, but honestly, I'm not going to put all those windows. It's too much work. I'm just going to put a suggestion.
Sorry, Lael, is that just Payne's Gray?
Just Payne's Gray, yeah, just Payne's Gray, and but I am mixing a touch of unbleached titanium to highlight the side.
Okay.
But yes, I'm starting with just Payne's Gray, and then I'm using unbleached titanium right now here, like that, just to create a bit of a shape of this, side of the window, the thickness of the wall. Again, Payne's Gray. So inside where there's a dark shadow in here, I'm just going to use Payne's Gray. Trying to keep those windows very, very soft, nothing, no harsh edges. as much as I can. Okay.
Lael,
Yes.
on the top windows, it looks like there's a stripe, not a stripe, but it gives it depth, which is great.
This.
What is that? Did you just paint that, or was that you just
Yeah.
left it in the
Yeah.
building?
So I did something like this first, like a
Yeah.
square or a rectangle with my Payne's gray, and then
Yeah.
I mixed a bit of titanium buff with Payne's gray. I added that line in there.
Okay, good. Okay.
I'm gonna put more windows here. And that's Payne's gray. My Payne's gray is blue, so if your Payne's gray is not blue enough, you might want to add a bit of cerulean blue in it. Okay, now I'm going to take titanium buff. Come here. All right. Now coming to this part, I have to highlight my Payne's gray just because the wall is lighter. So if I put a dark Payne's gray in there, it's going to look too strong. So to put those windows in here, I'm using Payne's gray, but I'm using Payne's gray and titanium buff. All right, I'm not going to put too many windows in here. This is just titanium buff. And at this point, if you don't like the green you have on the windows, just water down your Payne's gray and titanium buff, water it down and glaze those windows. So there's stuff happening here, and the windows are lowered in the picture, in the original picture. But honestly, I'm gonna keep it just the way it is. Maybe add.
ना चाले छे हाँ ओके आई विल ओके हाँ ओके बाय ना ना चाले it's okay bye 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 dating it bye 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 dating
Okay.